Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today for our webinar. Our topic today is appointment book tricks, so some things that should hopefully help us save some time. We'll get started in just a moment. Just want to see if anyone else is going to join us. All right, looks like a couple more people jumped on. We're going to go ahead and get started this morning. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, we're going to cover some appointment book tricks. My name is Angel Gonzalez, and I'm the manager here of the Education Department in the U.S. office. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping for our webinar today, as per normal. The duration of the webinar is probably about 30 minutes, and we'll spend some time doing some Q&A at the end as well if you guys have some questions. Your speakers must be turned on to hear the webinar. So hopefully if you're not hearing me talk at this point, you guys are all running to turn on your speakers so that you can join in with us today. My microphone's on, obviously. Hopefully you guys can hear me again. Everyone else has been automatically muted, and that's just so that we can kind of keep the webinar quiet. And of course, you guys can always use the chat box or the questions box to send questions through to me throughout the webinar. All right, so our learning outcomes for today. So at the end of this webinar, you should understand how to move appointments within the week view. So you guys, just to point out, the week view is actually not a new feature. This is a feature that we brought out in 7.4. Or the black version, we just want to make sure that everybody knows about it and is utilizing it. So know how to use the select tool to reschedule appointments or to move appointments. Be able to group appointments on the appointment book. Understand how to effectively manage your wait list, and be familiar with the different ways you can view upcoming and future appointments. Okay. All right, so you guys, we're going to get started with moving appointments in the week view. So as I said, this is a feature that actually came out in 7.4, or a black version of Shortcuts. So hopefully most of you have access to this. If you're still on 7.3 or an older version, you will need to give us a call so you can use this awesome tool. But all you need to do, you guys, is you'll just need to right-click on the service provider's name up at the top of the appointment book, and you can see you have View Week. Okay, so you can see that there. So once I go into the View Week mode, okay, you can see that it'll actually give me the appointment book for that particular employee for an entire week. Okay, so you can actually click and drag appointments from one day to the next. So you can actually move appointments from Tuesday to Wednesday and so on. Obviously, also, you guys, it makes it really easy to see what days they're available and what days they aren't, and also what time they come in and what time they finish for that week. Okay, something important in the week view as well, you guys, is that you can actually move that from 1 week, 2 weeks, or even 3 weeks. So you can see down here at the bottom, you guys, you have that week option. That's a little drop down. So you can actually see 2 or 3 weeks at a time as well. Of course, the more time you see in the week view, the smaller the cells will get. But sometimes if a client wants to move from, this week to 2 weeks later, it's an easy way to just pick up that appointment and drag it. Okay, you can also expand the employee options by selecting the employee button. So you can see down here at the bottom you have that little employee button as well. So you can actually select multiple employees to see in the week view at a time. Okay, so what I've done, you guys, is I've added a little video here for the week view that we're going to go ahead and walk through today. But basically it's just going to walk us through the couple of things that I talked about already. All right. Okay, so here, if I go into week view, you can see that it pulls Anna's appointments for the entire week. Okay, and again, like I said, you can see, you can navigate the appointment book as well, just like you can in the regular view using Week View. Okay, you guys can also use the calendar view in Week View as well. Okay, again, I can see 2 weeks or 3 weeks if I need to. I can go back to 1. That employee button, if I choose that, it'll allow me to see multiple people at a time by just selecting a little gray block. Okay. You can see I can pick Wendy up and I can move her to Friday instead of Wednesday. And then you can see it moves that appointment easily for us. Okay. You guys, any questions about the week view? Hopefully most of you are using this already and you're like, this is just review for me. Okay, so again, you guys, you can see multiple employees in the week view. You can move appointments within the week view to during that same week, a week later, or even 2 weeks later in the 3-week mode. All right, everyone's good with the week view. So the next thing I want to talk about is using the Select tool to reschedule appointments. So you guys, we just talked about the week view, and that's a really great way to be able to drag appointments from one day to the next or 1 week to the next. Okay, however, what if a client wants to reschedule a month later or 5 weeks later and it's not within that 3-week period? There's another really easy way that you can actually reschedule those appointments, and that's using the Select tool in the appointment book. Okay, so again, if you right-click against the appointment, you'll get that select option. Okay, and I just have a little hot tip for you here. If the client has multiple appointments, you'll get this message below, and it says, do you wish to move all appointments booked on 5/3/2016 for Angel Gonzalez? And then you would just hit yes. Okay, so I'll actually recognize that the client has multiple appointments. Okay, so once you select all the appointments, okay, you can see down here at the bottom, you guys, you have this little folder option. So if you click on that little folder, you can actually see all the appointments that you've selected. Okay, so all the appointments that I selected for Angel, yes, I'm using myself as a client, you guys. All the appointments I've selected for Angel are actually right down there in that little folder. Okay, now what I can do is I can navigate to any day on the appointment book. So I can use my calendar, I can use the navigation tools at the bottom of my appointment book, and I can go and I can navigate to whatever day Angel wants to reschedule. Okay, once I get to that calendar day, all I need to do is, again, click in that little gray or in that little folder down at the bottom, you guys, and then I just want to click on each of the boxes next to the appointments that I selected. Okay, and then once I do that, I'll click and drag that appointment or those appointments to the spot that I want to put them on the appointment book. Okay, and you can see there's the appointment being dragged to 1 o'clock. Okay, so once you drag and drop the appointments to the place in the place that you want them to go, you'll receive a message confirming that you want to move the appointments to the correct date and time and all that good stuff, right? So move the selected appointments to 12:30 on June 7th with this stylist or this service provider, and then you would say yes. And you guys, if you're moving multiple appointments like I was for me, because I had 3 different appointment blocks, you can see here when you're moving multiple appointments, they will appear stacked on the appointment book and you will need to drag them into position. So you can see they're kind of stacked up on each other. You just drag them down into the places where they need to be. Okay, any questions so far about using the Select tool on the appointment book? Okay, so again, I'm just going to take the YouTube video that we have on this particular topic, and I'm just going to walk through the video now as well. Okay, so again, right-click, select. Okay, again, it puts the appointment into that little folder down here at the bottom. Okay, then I can navigate to the day where I want to go. Okay, and then you can see in there, I have the appointments that I selected. Okay, if I click on the client and then click on the little box, like I said, we can then drag it to the place where we want it to go on the appointment book. Again, it confirms if we actually want to move it to that date and time. Okay, any questions about the select tool? Okay, perfect. Looks like Outlook wants me to change my password. Oops. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about, you guys, is grouping appointments on the appointment book. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. So I have option 1 and option 2. Appointment groups is a 8.0 or a Fusion feature. So this is only something you'll have if you've upgraded to Fusion. Okay, so this is a really great feature for those of you that book bridal parties or book, mom and daughters together, fathers and sons together, and things like that, because this is a really easy way for our staff to be able to identify who's booked together. Okay, so if I click on the menu from the appointment book and then select appointment group. So you guys, on your appointment book, down at the bottom on the right, you have that little menu option. And then if I click on it, in there, you'll actually see the appointment books option, or appointment groups option, excuse me. Okay, so once I select appointment groups, okay, it'll open up this window here, and then all I need to do is select new to create a new group. Okay, then I would type in the name of the group and then click done. So I have a father and daughter that I have in today, so I just named it father-daughter group. Okay, and then I chose and then choose done. Okay, then what you want to do is once you have the group selected, you'll see up here at the top you have the group. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to click on each of the appointments that are part of this group and then add them over. So you can see I selected them and then I clicked add, and then here they are, clients in this particular group. And then of course again, choose done. Okay. So your appointments will now appear with a little double circle on the bottom right-hand corner of the appointment, okay? So that little circle, or that little double circle there on each of the appointments, is the indicator that they're in a group. Each group will have its own color, you guys. And again, I have another little hot tip for you. You can use your appointment book filter to filter for appointment groups. So if you just want to see groups, or if you want to filter for a specific groups, you can now use the filter for that as well. All right, so that's the first way to group appointments. Okay, the second way, so grouping appointments option 2. So this you can do pretty much directly from your appointment book. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll right click against the appointment you wish to add to the group, and then you'll select the add to group option and then the add to a new group. Okay, so in this case, again, we don't have the group created yet. Okay, so at that point, when you select add to a new group, okay, you'll get the new appointment group screen here. And again, you'll just type in who you're adding to the group. Okay, and then you would choose done. Okay, at that point, the appointment is now added to that group automatically, because remember, you right-clicked against the first appointment, said add to a group, and then added it to a new group because our group didn't exist yet. Okay, so now we have the first appointment in the group already. Now we need to add the second appointment. Okay, all I need to do to add the second appointment into my group, or the third appointment or fourth, or however many there are, is again just right click against the group, choose add to a new group, and if the group you want to put this person in is already there, you'll just select it to drop them in. Okay. Any questions on grouping appointments on the appointment book, you guys? Okay. Another little hot tip I didn't add into the webinar, but I'll tell you about, is in your arrival screen, if you choose to arrive a client that is part of the group, it'll pop up and ask you if you'd like to if you'd like to arrive the entire group, so if the entire party is there. Also, I know probably most of you are aware of the fact that you can group clients at the point of sale. But if you've already grouped your clients on the appointment book, again, when you go to check them out, it'll actually ask if you'd like to check them out individually or if you'd like to check them out as part of a group. Okay, and then now I'm just going to show a little video again here on grouping appointments. Oh, looks like I might have a question. Let me just check here. Okay, if you want to take somebody out of a group, you can actually right-click against that appointment and take them out. Jeff, that's something I could show you easily if you just want to give me a call or send me an email. But yeah, you can easily take clients out of the group as well. All right, so I'm going to show you this video here. Okay, so again, I'll just right-click, go add to new group. Okay, I'll create my group name here, the Clark group. It adds that little double circle. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and right-click against the second appointment that's part of the group. Again, add to new group, select my group, and then it adds that little circle for us. Okay, I could have multiple groups, just like I said, you guys. So you can see I've now created a bridal party group as well. And then you can see now, I know the colors are kind of hard to see. So the first group we created was green and the second group we created is blue. So you can see our Clark group and then our bridal party group. Okay. Okay, looks like I just have a question quickly. Let me take a look here. Okay, so there's a question, when does it ask if you want to check them out individually or as a group? So from the appointment book, if you right-click against an appointment that is in a group and choose check out, it will prompt you if you want to check them out individually or as a group. Or in the arrival screen, if you choose the to point of sale button from your arrival screen, and that client is part of a group, it will also ask you at that point as well. All right. So that's grouping appointments, you guys, both ways, from the appointment book menu as well as straight from the appointment book. All right, so managing your wait list. So you guys, the wait list obviously is a tool that is designed in the event that you have maybe a really busy time of year or just particularly a really busy service provider. Okay, so to use the wait list, that's actually used through our appointment assistant. So down at the bottom of your appointment book, you have that plus sign. You would just select that plus sign to go in to be able to use the wait list or add a client to the wait list. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to fill out the appointment assistant here. Okay, so enter all the details you need to add the client to the wait list and then just select wait list. Okay, so you guys, this is the way that you would do it in the event that you know the person that you're searching for is completely reserved on the day that the client wants. So you'll just automatically add them to the wait list. Once we get to the video that I have on the wait list, this will actually show you how to search for an opening, and then when it doesn't find any, how to add the client to the wait list at that point. Okay, so here you can see that I've added the client, so chose the client screen, chose the client's name. Okay, I chose the to and from dates that the client wanted to come in, so that person said they had to come in on May 6th. Okay, so I chose the 6th to the 6th. Okay, the start and finish times if necessary. Okay, the services that the client needs to have done, and then of course, if they're looking for a specific employee, I need to put that employee name in. Okay, so I can then add them to the wait list. You can see the wait list button there. Okay, so when a waitlist time slot becomes available on your appointment book, you guys, this little pop-up is going to pop up down at the bottom on the left-hand corner. Okay, you guys, you have this little hourglass icon. That's the waitlist hourglass little icon there. So this will pop up, this message will pop up above that little icon, and then below it, you'll see that the icon has this little circle, the red circle with the little dash in it. Okay, so you guys, when there are wait list availabilities open, that little icon will always be there. Okay, and then you, like I said, you'll get this little pop-up. Okay. Okay, so to go and actually book an appointment that's actually waiting and available on your wait list, what you'll do is you'll go, again, click on the little hourglass, and then you'll select all requests for Friday, May 6th, or whatever day it is that you're trying to book this person in for. Okay, at that point, this screen will pop up and you'll be able to go ahead and select the client. You can see that the status says bookable now. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll select that item and then you'll go ahead and click schedule. Okay, that will bring us back to the appointment assistant screen here, you guys. And what it'll do is it'll allow us, you can see here, to pick from the available times that are now open for that appointment that was waiting. Okay, and once I select the time, you can see here I've selected 3 p.m. I can go ahead and select book and it'll book that appointment in. You guys, one thing that's really important to note is you do still need to correspond with the client, right? You do still need to, you know, when you get that cancellation or that waitlist time slot has become available, you do still need to pick up the phone, call the client, and ask them if they can come in at that time that's become available. And then, of course, you'll go ahead and book them in like here. Okay, again, you guys, I have a little video on the wait list here. So the way that we've done it in the video is we're actually searching for an available time slot, and when we don't find an available time slot, we put the client on the wait list. All right. Okay, so again, I'll click on the plus sign for the appointment assistant. Okay, click on the client list here so I can select the client I want to book in. Okay, up at the top, we're able to choose the from and to, and then of course the days that they're available. Okay, so this person said that they have to come in today. Okay, which was apparently November 11th when we filmed this. Okay, I can put in the start and finish times because some clients say it has to be today, but it can only be between these certain hours. Okay, then I need to go ahead and select the services that the client is looking to have done so I know what I'm trying to book in. All right. And then, of course, I need to select the employee that we're trying to book in with. Okay, so she wants to see Anna. And then you can see down there at the bottom, I have that search option. And then here it says, no available times could be found. Would you like to add the client to the wait list? So at this point, we're going to say yes. Okay, it also gives you the option to do another booking or another search for that client. At this point, we're going to say no. Okay, so down here at the bottom, you can see that there's my request and it currently says that the client is waiting. And that's because there currently still is no availabilities during that time. Okay, but if something happens and somebody cancels or somebody's appointment moves, you can see here we have a client cancellation. That little warning pops up and says that there are time slots available now. Okay, so now if I click on the little hourglass icon, and again, click on the bookable request, you can see that the status now says bookable. Okay, so if I select that line item, down at the bottom I can go to the schedule button and it'll actually then tell me the available time slots. In this particular case, it's only 11:30 that's available. Okay, so I'll select that time. And then once I select that time, I can choose book. It also wants me to go ahead and give the appointment a tag. And then once I tag it, I'll choose done, and then it'll book that in for us. Okay, you can see Amy's now in that 11:30 time slot with Anna. Okay, it looks like I might have a question, so give me just a moment here. Okay, so the question is, if a client has an appointment on May 7th and an opening, but now an opening is on May 6th, does the system tell the front desk that there is that there is an appointment still on the 7th? So in the client dashboard, and also in the client schedule, it should be very easy to tell when you're booking that person in for the 6th that they do have something booked on the 7th. Okay, but there isn't any pop-up or anything like that that pops up and says, wait a second, they're still booked on the 7th. Okay, so it is a visual thing that the staff will need to pay attention to. Okay, so that's the wait list, you guys. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about the arrival screen. Okay, so you guys, the arrival screen is, again, a feature that we brought out in Fusion or our 8.0 version. So if you're not on 8.0 yet, this is a feature that to use this, you will need to upgrade. Okay, but the arrival screen is a new little icon in your main menu. It kind of looks like a little door with an arrow on it. Okay, but if you click on the arrival screen from the main menu, the arrival screen allows you to do the following, you guys. So I can view clients that are arriving soon. Okay, I can view their client card from this screen. I can also identify if the client is part of a group, right? I have that little group section here. Okay, view clients that are past their scheduled arrival time. So this client here that's in red, you can actually see that they were due 8 minutes ago, so they're 8 minutes late for their appointment. Okay, I can search for specific clients. Okay, so up here I can actually search for a client by name and just mark them arrived from there. Okay, I can mark client as a no-show from here as well. You can see this nice little no-show option, right? Okay, and I can also take a client to the point of sale to check out from here. So once I mark a client arrived, you can see right here there is this to POS column. Now because nobody's marked arrived in this screenshot, the little icon's not showing up, but as soon as a client's marked arrived, you can actually, like I said, take them to the checkout from here as well. So the arrival screen is really great if you have a really busy day, or if you guys just tend to be very busy in general. Instead of having to scroll back and forth on your appointment book to see who's meant to be coming in or to mark a certain client arrived, you might use the arrival screen to do that instead. Okay, any questions about the arrival screen, you guys? Looks like I have a question here. Okay. There's a question, how do you change the categories of the options that are available in the arrival screen? It might just be something that you're not currently viewing in that screen. So if you look on my screenshot here, you can see all those different headings that we have: client, arrive, start, no-show, so on. That bar is able to be edited. So if you right-click against it, you can add and take away options. You might start by checking there if you don't have the no-show option. All right, so you guys, I do also have a little video on our arrival screen here as well, so I want to go ahead and show you that now. Okay. Okay, so you can see, I can see how many people are meant to be arriving. Okay, how many people are overdue. Okay, I can search for a client by name. Okay, I can filter for all arrived, so I can filter the screen as well. You can see for the clients that have been marked arrived, you do see the little to POS button or that little flag there. Okay. So if I mark them arrived, it's that little green arrow. Okay, I can undo the arrival too by clicking on the little circle arrow. Okay, you can see again the no-show button. So if I mark them a no-show, it does update the appointment book, you guys, to that no-show color. I can get to a client's schedule by clicking on them and clicking the schedule button. I can get to their card. I can also print out the arrival screen as well. Okay, that to POS button takes the client directly to the point of sale. Okay, and again, like I mentioned, you guys, you can see if a client's part of the group from the arrival screen also. Okay, so the client schedule or viewing upcoming appointments. So you guys, there's a couple ways that we can actually see when clients have future appointments or when their next or upcoming appointments are. Okay, so from the client screen, okay, I can select your client from the client list, okay, and then future appointments will actually show in the client dashboard. Okay, so you guys, that's what we're viewing here, and you can see I have that future appointments section. Okay, you guys, the client dashboard is a Fusion feature or a 8.0 feature. It is something that has to be turned on. So if you're on Fusion and you don't see the dashboard, this is going to be in your general settings. Okay, so that's one way to see a client's future or upcoming appointments. Okay, another way is from the client screen, select your client from the client list and then right-click against the client and choose Schedule. Okay, so when you do that, this little option pops up here, and then you can see that you can see future appointments. You guys, you can also print that schedule for clients as well. You can see you have this print schedule option down here in that menu. Okay, and then the third option is from the appointment book. If you double click on a client's appointment, the appointment schedule pops up, and that's identical to what you see here when you right click against the client and choose schedule. So that's this option here. Okay, so there's 3 ways we can actually see upcoming appointments for a client. Any questions about that? All right, you guys, then we're going to cover, well, the summary of what we've gone over today. So how to move appointments within the week view, okay, how to reschedule appointments using the select tool, okay, how to group appointments on the appointment book, how to effectively manage your wait list, and then the different ways you can view upcoming and future appointments. Okay, so remember you guys, our webinars are always recorded, so hopefully it'll be up on our website to watch on YouTube within just a couple of days here. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Q&A. I know a bunch of you asked questions throughout, but if anybody still has any questions, please let me know now. Also, you guys, I just do want to remind you all about our YouTube channel because we are putting more and more training videos up on the YouTube channel. So just about the appointment book, I pulled out a few videos that you could watch. So finding your way around the appointment book, resizing and moving appointments, using the appointment assistant, using the wait list is where I pulled that video from today that we looked at, using tasks and tags, recurring appointments, changing the status, and so on. So you guys, quite a few appointment book videos that we have up on YouTube. It looks like I might have a question here. Okay. There's a question from Jen. Can I go over how to group clients in the appointment book? Jen, that's not actually something we're covering today, and I don't have that in my PowerPoint. However, you can see the page that we're on right now talking about the YouTube. There is a video called Grouping Clients, and Jen, that covers grouping clients on the appointment book as well as grouping clients in the point of sale. So if you go ahead and go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/shortcutsusa, you'll be able to find that grouping clients video. Oh, I skipped one. So you guys, I do just want to remind you that you can register for our future webinars at shortcuts.net/webinars. And then also you can always go back and watch the past webinars, shortcuts.net/webinars/webinar-library. Now you guys, we won't be having a webinar in June, so we'll be back in July with the next webinar. So again, it'll be towards the end of the month, likely on a Monday. But we'll let you know as soon as we have those available for registration. Okay, and as always, you guys, any questions that you have come up from today, you can always email through to the education department. So it's just education@shortcuts.net. You can always go and post comments on our Facebook page, so facebook.com/shortcutsusa. You guys, our website, of course, and then the local phone number as well as the toll-free number to call the office if you want to talk about upgrading your system or if you just have any questions. Okay, anybody else have any questions about our webinar today? All right, looks like everyone got their questions answered. Hopefully you guys learned some great tips for your appointment book today. Again, if you have questions, feel free to email them through to the education department at education@shortcuts.net. Thank you so much, you guys, and I hope you join us for our webinar in July. Have a great day, well, morning or afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. Thank you.